Okay. What is up, people? First time going live. Had to snag me a little drink. What's up, Dennis? Actually, this was a spur of the moment. Brad said he couldn't do the Tuesday talk, so I actually filmed a video tonight. I got the house to myself. First, can you guys hear me all right? Anybody? Audio good? Video quality? Again, this is my first time doing this. Melody, how are you doing? Kimberly, what is up? Thanks for joining. I appreciate it, guys. Will from the Financial Wolf. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Oscar, my dude. How's it going, buddy? You should do Monday videos and Saturday streams or something. That's a good idea. You know, I was actually talking to Dennis about this earlier today. My schedule at work has been pretty hectic. We also, my wife and I, just purchased a home. I'll get into more of that in a second. So we've been going through that process right now with inspections, getting closing set up, you know, trying to do all that stuff. So I'm trying to get all that, you know, straightened out, along with, you know, trying to figure out my schedule for YouTube, how I'm going to set up that. I missed last Monday's video. I'm hoping I can get either a video out this week or get a video out starting my schedule again next Monday. And then Saturday streams would be cool. Dennis, you do Sunday night streams. I really like that. It may have to be something during the week because weekend nights are always busy for me. Streams equal lots of watch time. Yeah, I need help on some watch time. I'm getting close to the 1,000 subscriber mark, which is incredible. I'll be honest with you guys, I never expected to, I honestly never expected this many people to subscribe to my channel. And, you know, just some random average Joe dude that, you know, started a YouTube channel to document my progress of, you know, becoming financially independent and, you know, paying off debt and, you know, help people personally with finances. I don't know, it's incredible. It's pretty awesome that you guys are watching and liking liking the videos that I'm putting out. All right, let's get to this chat again. Let me scroll up. I'm doing this on my smartphone too, so this isn't the best thing to go off. Let's see, you should do Monday videos. Kimberly, thank you for the congratulations. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Just finished building my first home. I know how stressful it is. Wish you and your family the best. Oh boy, it's him again. Hey, oh boy, it's him again. I really do appreciate you know, watching the video. Hey, where'd you build at? Or did you use a contractor? Did you build yourself? I'll just get into that right now. So my wife and I were planning on building a home. For those of you that have been subscribed for a while, you've probably heard me mention that in a couple of my videos. Let me straighten this up a little bit. There we go. So, like I was saying, we were going to be building, but after really looking into it, so we went through the whole process. I mean, we did multiple designs for our home. We did a first design. My wife and I were like, we don't really like it. You know, this is going to be our forever home. So we paid again to get new building plans drawn up, which we got half off, which was cool because the guy kind of helped us out. But then we talked to a builder who was going to be building the house for us. We got a couple bids, and for material costs right now and everything else, you know, there's no homes available in the area that I live here in Missouri. So all my friends, you know, family friends, people are building right now. So prices are up. It costs a lot of money to build a home. And we got our bid back from a builder, you know, that we gave our plans to, and we started calculating what our mortgage payment was going to be. Our mortgage payment, and we're going to be putting down a lot of money. I mean, we're going to be putting down a lot, damn near almost 100K in cash. Not quite that much, but it was a lot of money. And I was sitting, thinking to myself, our mortgage payment was still going to be an astronomical amount. And I was like, it just takes so much money away from our monthly expenses that we wanted to do with, other areas of financial, goals, such as buying my first rental property. We were going to have to put that off because we were going to be solely focusing on paying off our mortgage, because one of just our interest rate we're going to be, at 4 months from now, which who knows what that's going to be like, because interest rates are continuously rising. But yeah, I don't know. It was just it was an idea that my wife and I had, and my wife was on board. She was not on board at first. She wanted to build no matter what. But I think her kind of bringing it in was the fact that I told her, I was like, well, babe, if we go purchase a more, cheaper home, live in it for 5-6 years, save up more money to build, I was saying that, you would be able to stay home because we're going to be starting, trying to have a second child here pretty soon. So let me get to these chats real quick. I keep seeing you guys pop up. Sorry, this is kind of hard to pay attention to chats and then also be talking. So let's see. Brandon Beavis, what is up, buddy? Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Kimberly, I feel so special. Hey, for those of you that are watching, go check out my buddies Brandon Beavis, Will over at the Financial Wolf, Dennis at True Financials, all high quality. Oscar, go check out Oscar. All those guys are putting out great quality content. So go give them a check if you guys have not seen their videos already. Let me get back to these chats. What's a good amount of money we should save before buying a home? So personally, for me, some people may not agree with me, but I think you should not be purchasing a home unless you have 20% down. Now, I know in some areas, like Denver, California, New York, where it's $800,000, Hawaii, $900,000 for a typical single-family house. I know it's kind of hard to get to. I want to know from other people in the chat, what do you guys think is a good amount? I think 20% of a home, 20% of the value of the home. That way, one, you don't have PMI, and PMI is private mortgage insurance. I think it's private mortgage insurance. Let me know if that's right. But when you put 20% down or more, you tend to not have to pay PMI, which is huge because that is literally money you're wasting every month. Now, on the other hand, if you're looking to buy a real estate investment, and if you want to do a house hack, you can purchase a home for 3.5% down using an FHA loan, pay your PMI, which I think that is okay if your deal works out to where your rent coming in from the other units. So let's say you buy a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex, you live in one of those units and you rent out the other 1, 2, or 3 units, and then that will either pay for your mortgage or it'll pay for most of your mortgage. And you can, if you buy it right, you may even be able to come out ahead and cash flow, which that would be incredible. Okay, I am falling behind here. Let's see. So Kimberly, if that answered your question, I hope it did. If not, feel free to ask another question and I can help you out there. Oscar, around 20%. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking. That way you don't have to pay that PMI. Will, if you don't mind, or Financial Wolf, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? How old do you think I am? I know the beard gives me some age, so I am interested. I want to know down in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. How old do I look? Okay. Bring up the live stream on your computer. No audio. It helps keep up with your chat. Good idea, Dennis. Looky there. See, man, I'm glad I met you online. Let me pull this up real quick, guys. Give me 1 second. See if I can figure this out real quick. That'll be a lot easier to keep up with the chats, because whenever you're on the phone, when I'm on my phone, the chats disappear and I have to keep clicking them and I have to scroll all the way up. So let me go. I guess I just go to my channel, Dennis, and do that. Gosh, I'm such a noob when it comes to YouTube. So bear with me, people. Let's get back to some questions. Will, 100%. I guess you're talking about down payment. Is that what that meant? Have 100% down? Yeah, that'd be sweet if you could do that. Kimberly, I live in DC and home prices are scary. Yeah, I totally get it. There are expensive areas in the United States. Luckily, I live in Missouri. Home prices are relatively cheap. Like I said, the home we just purchased, it's an older home, but it's a 3-bed, 1-bath. We purchased it for $160,000. It's about 50,000 or 50. Gosh, it's about 1,500 square feet. It's got 2-car attached garage. You know, it's like a nice ranch. It's been remodeled. So I mean, you can get a lot for your money here in Missouri. Private mortgage. Okay, good, got that right. Where I live, average home is between 150 and 200. Yeah, I mean, well, I think you were up north in Minnesota, if I believe, or Wisconsin, somewhere around there. And that seems roughly about where we're at. 150 to 200 is about average going price for a home. Here we go. Live now. Let's click on the video and see if I can mute this. Keep up with chat. Oh, wow, that's weird. Bear with me, people. There we go. Okay. Very great for real estate. Yes, I agree. Oscar says, agree with Financial Wolf. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to set this up. Bear with me. Kimberly, yes, thank you. You're the best. If that's to me, I really do appreciate it. Again, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for viewing, being a subscriber. I really do appreciate it. Okay, here we go on the ages. Will from Financial Wolf says 25. Kimberly says 28. Melody, she says, I suck at guessing. I'm going to say 31. I'll say, so far, the farthest away, Melody. So, Oscar says 29. So I am, drumroll, 27. 27 years old. I will be 28 in March. March 31st is my birthday. So I will be 28. I got married at, let's see. I got married when I was 24 to my beautiful wife, Lindsay, who I need to have her come on the channel one night and introduce her to you guys. We had our son a little over a year and a half ago in 2017. So, yeah. Let's see. Thanks for the subscriber, True Financial. I sub back. Oh, cool. So, yeah, for Will over at the Financial Wolf and Dennis. Dennis, I think I told you about Will a while ago when we were chatting one night. Will, I told him how you're, I think you're 15, 16, something like that, and how impressive you are with your YouTube channel and your businesses you're creating. I mean, it is incredible, man. When I was 15, 16 years old, honestly, I hate to say this, but I was worried about where I was going to find beer for the weekend, which, God, that's horrible. But, yeah, keep doing what you're doing, man, because you will be way farther ahead where I'm at right now when you turn 27. Okay, I'm so jealous. I wish I could live in Missouri now. Hey, I love Missouri. Some people hate it. I love it. We live in a small town. The town I live in is about just over 500 people. There's a town next to me that's considered part of the same town. There's about a little over 4,000 people that live there. Everyone knows everybody. You always have connections. It's a great place to raise a family. All of our friends are having kids now. They all moved back from here. We were living in Kansas City for a while. Then we moved to Hawaii for a year, my wife and I, and then we got pregnant, moved back, bought a house in Kansas City, sold our house once we had our son, Mason, and now we're back in Bloomsdale. And, we couldn't be happier that we're here. It's a great town to live in. So, yeah, let's get back to the chat again. It's just hard to talk and chat, man. Brad is a natural at this. Thanks for the subscribe. I'm so jealous. Love, support of like-minded people. Can't wait to see what becomes of your channel. Yeah, he's great. Go check him out. Same, look forward to seeing you. Chris says 35. Man, do I look that old? Ugh, maybe I trim this beard up a little bit. Okay, let's see. Dennis has helped me out again. He says, you can pause the video if the time delay throws you off, or you can pop out chat. Click the 3 dots on the top. Oh, there we go. pop out. Looky there, man. Dennis coming in clutch on my live video. Thank you so much, dude. By the way, like I said, if you guys haven't checked out True Financials, go check him out. He's got an excellent channel. I am hoping him and I can do a live video one night on both of our channels, maybe first on yours and then mine. I think that would be incredible to be able to have a conversation and to have people, be in on that conversation using this chat, because this is pretty cool. I like this. Again, this is my first live video. If you guys are new or just here, bear with me. I'm trying to figure this out with the whole chat thing. Dennis is really helping me out, so I appreciate that. All right, let's get back to the chat. Kimberly, yes, you were very close. James, sounds like Bolivar. You're talking about Bolivar, Missouri? I think there's a Bolivar, Missouri. That's down by Springfield, right? Let me know if that's what you're talking about. Chris, sorry, man, I was waiting. No, that's fine, dude. I'm kind of at that point now where I feel like from 26 to your 38, it's kind of hard to judge how old you really look, especially when you have a beard like mine. Let's see. When is the real estate series coming? What month can you see yourself starting to search for rental properties? Good question, Financial Wolf. I'm just going to start calling you that, Will, because other people may not know when I say Will who I'm talking about. So Financial Wolf is wanting to know when I am starting the real estate series. And for those of you that don't know what this real estate series is, 1 second. It is me documenting myself and my journey to purchase my first real estate investment. So I'm starting from zero, from the very beginning to the very end. So I'm going to be showing you guys the properties that I'm analyzing. I may make like a little video update, stating some things that I went through for either talking to my realtor or a couple things that happened while looking at a property. If I get the chance to go look at a property, I'm going to take my camera with me. I'll do like a vlog type style video, or I may have my wife record me and I'll show you guys, excuse me, the stuff that I'm looking for, like structural issues or cosmetic things that I can quickly update relatively cheap to give the home a more value and also get a higher rent possibility per month. So again, to get back to your question, when is that starting? So funny thing you asked, Financial Wolf, I am actually just filmed a video tonight. I'm gonna hope I can edit it tonight or tomorrow, get that done. It's the first episode of the series, so stick around for that. I'm not gonna go into too much detail of what it entails. I think it's pretty good. So again, I should have that out hopefully. Well, let's see, what is today? Is today Monday? Gosh, I don't even know what day it is. If today is Monday, I should have it out by Wednesday or Thursday. My wife works the next couple days, so it's just going to be me and the kiddo here. So I'll have to wait till he goes to sleep to edit. But again, be on the lookout for that. Let's see here. You should start a savings plan for your son. That way he won't have to take out any student loans. Kimberly, this is perfect, and I'm glad you brought this up. So actually, when my son was 2 weeks old, my wife and I opened up a 529 savings plan for him through Vanguard. I manage that myself. Majority of his investments that go in there right now are all in the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. So what we do, since he is younger, he's not old enough. He'll be 2 in March. So, he's not really old enough to do anything with money whenever he gets gifts from like grandparents, great-grandparents, family, friends on his birthday or Christmas. So we take the money that he gets for his birthday or whatever it may be, whatever holiday, and we put that into his 529 plan account, or 529 account. So with that, I also have been talking to my wife, Lindsay, about opening him up a brokerage account. I wanted to open him up a Roth IRA account, but you have to actually be earning income to open up a Roth IRA. So the next best thing out there, at least to my knowledge, is the brokerage account. And I will just put a little bit of money each month into, again, the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. And that will grow over time to where, what would be really cool is if he turns 25 and he had, it'll be a custodial account, so he'll have access to the account. If he turns 25 and he wants to pull that money out of the brokerage account and he wants to put a down payment on a rental investment, or he wants to never touch that money and let it grow till he's 59 and a half, 60 years old, and he wants to, use that money as just extra in retirement, or maybe he wants to turn that money into his son. And I don't know, it's kind of in the thinking right now. We've just been talking about it. I also would think it'd be cool to like teach him how to kind of buy stocks and how I kind of look into dividend companies and how I analyze companies. If he enjoys that, that would be kind of cool for him to have that set up as well. So that may be something that we do. But that's a good question, and that's a good idea. Anybody who has kids out there, 529 plan, if you think your kid will go to college, it's definitely one of the best things you can set up for your son or daughter. Let's see. I think my chat is messing up here. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Let me get back to these chats. When is the real estate series? Yes, you should start. Any beard goals for 2019? No. What is up, buddy? How's it going? Thanks for joining the live stream. And also, anybody you guys don't know, Noah's got a great YouTube channel. Go check him out as well. Beard goals for 2019. Honestly, this beard, man, this stuff takes a lot to take care of. You got to wash it. You got to conditioner it. You got to buy oils for it or some type of conditioner, like leave-in conditioner, because it gets super, I don't know, my hair is so coarse and it's so rough sometimes that I have to put in like a leave-in conditioner or like a beard oil. And then also every morning or every night when I go to bed, I got little I don't know if you can see, look right there, like these just random hairs that stick out. And I take scissors and I try to trim it. I don't know, it's just a process, man. But I don't know if I can let it grow any longer. It just, once it starts getting too long, you wake up in the morning, you get, instead of bed head, you get beard. I don't know what the hell you would call it, but your beard is all lopsided and you have to brush it out and it's tangled and I don't know, it's just a pain in the butt. So I don't know what the plans are with the beard. I'm definitely keeping the beard. I don't plan on shaving it anytime soon, but I don't know how much longer I'll let it get. Chris says, that sounds awesome. I plan on buying my first property in 2020. Hopefully the market comes down by then and the interest rate doesn't go up too much. Yeah, Chris, that was one of my concerns, and that's one of the main reasons why we decided not to build, was because of our interest rate and what it was going to be. And by the time we would have gotten done building, interest rates could be, 5.5%, 5.625, 5.75. I mean, you just don't know. I wasn't willing to take the risk to take that gamble. So that's why another reason why we decided not to build right now is just because of interest rates. Now, do I think we're going to ever see 2.9%, 3% interest rates, mortgage rates again? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see that. I think if you didn't get into it now, it's probably going to be a while until we see that again, if we ever do. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think we're going to see the 2.9%, 3% mortgage rates again? I hope so. It's cheaper for rentals. But you said you're going to buy your first property in 2020. That's awesome. Is it a rental property or is it a personal property, like your personal home? True Financials, Dennis says, I told Vanessa that the second we have a kid, I'm running out to open an account for them. That is too funny because I literally picture you doing that right now. Like in the hospital, Dennis is on the computer setting up, looking at the new birth certificate, getting the social security number, setting it all up. Oh, that's too funny. James says, I don't know if you answered this. What types of property are you looking for? Great question. So first for location, I don't know if you were earlier in the chat, but my wife and I lived in Kansas City for a total of about 2.5 years. We took a year break and we went to Hawaii for a year, which was amazing. But overall, we were in Kansas City for a little over 2 years. So we know the area well. We know what areas to look out for, what areas are very, nice, good place to buy properties. And I also know the areas that are like your, decent working class areas to buy properties and that cash flow, very heavily. So again, the location we're looking at is in Kansas City, Missouri, around the surrounding areas like Lee Summit, Grandview, Raytown, Kansas City, Southern Missouri. Independence is a very good area for rentals in certain zip codes. There's certain zip codes you have to look out for. So I'm looking all in the southern eastern part of Kansas City, Missouri. And for the types of properties that I'm looking for. So ideally for just the market over there right now, there's not many multifamilies available on the market. I would be interested in buying a duplex, triplex, or fourplex. But as of right now, excuse me, there's just nothing available. Hang on, I gotta take a drink real quick. But if something would pop up, I would be more than interested in taking a look and seeing if that would work out numbers wise and also location. But primarily what we're looking for is single family homes in the, I would say, 60 to $120,000 range. And I could probably get rent anywhere from, depending, like, I'm probably sticking around 3-bed, 1-bath plus. So if I find a 3-bed, 2-bath, that's bonus. But I think I can probably get $800, $750 to upwards of $1,200 to $1,400 in rent. Again, this is depending on the location, the house, the like the inside, if it's renovated or not. So yeah. Oh, cool. 3 people liked my live stream. If you guys are watching now and you don't mind, hit that like button. I appreciate it. So James, I hope that answered your question. If you have any more, let me know. Chris says, rental. I want to keep renting and have my first investment property. That is awesome. Have you thought about house hacking, Chris? Have you thought about buying do you know what house hacking is? Because have you thought about buying a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex, not renting, but living in one of the units and then renting out the others to tenants? That way they pay for your mortgage or pay for most of your mortgage. And then that way, you can set it up to where technically your mortgage payment should be cheaper than what you would have anywhere else if you're renting, in like a house or an apartment or something. If I could go back in time to where my wife and I were, before we had kids and stuff, I wish we would have done that. I wish I would have bought a multi-unit property in Kansas City, lived in one unit and rented out the other. But unfortunately, I wasn't as into this real estate, personal finance stuff back then. But you know what? That's why I'm doing this now, because I feel like I've lived a little bit to where I can, pass on some stuff that I wish I could have done. And Chris, I think that's a really good plan you have to buy your first rental. I think it would be even cooler if you could do a multifamily and live in it for free or even possibly make money. So let me know what you think about that. True Financials, Dennis says, Robinhood mentioned after the whole SIPC scare that they are retooling it to be insured before opening access. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't technically have a checking account with Robinhood right now. I have not signed up for the checking account. I don't know if you have or not, Dennis. Let me know if you have. But I noticed just from seeing from other people on Instagram and YouTube that there is a wait list or something like that right now. Wow, 7 likes. Thanks, guys. I really do appreciate that. Wow, that's awesome. But I heard there's a waiting list, and you have to wait until, I guess they're waiting until they're insured, like you said. So let me know if that's true or not. I don't know if you can actually sign up for it or how that works. Chris says, yes, but the asking price for duplexes are way overpriced here in Miami, Florida. I'm not too familiar with prices in Miami. I have actually looked at prices around Clearwater and Jacksonville. I actually talked to another real estate investor. He's actually out in Hawaii, and he owns a lot of properties out in Jacksonville, Florida. But I'm not too sure about Miami. Chris, how expensive are the properties out in Miami? or well, I guess what's a typical price for a duplex, triplex, or fourplex? True Financial says, oh, I'm on. Okay, cool. So there is a wait list. He says, I'm on the wait list. So how does that work out? Is it whenever, do they have a timeline of whenever they plan on being officially insured or whatever? Because I know of what happened about them not, with it being a brokerage account, not technically a savings, that it wasn't properly insured or whatever. When do they have, or when there are the plans to open that up for people to actually own or have a checking account? Well, this is really hard to read and try to talk at the same time. I don't know how Brad does it. Hey, Investing Wisely is in the house. What is up, buddy? Thanks for joining the live stream. Really do appreciate it. He asked, how is the CrossFit going? CrossFit is going decent. It's all right. I'm still working out, but I'm definitely not working out nearly as much as I should be. With work right now, work has got me working a lot. So for those of you that don't know, I am a project engineer for a construction company. So I do a lot of estimating, bidding on work for the construction general contractors here in the St. Louis, Missouri area. Sometimes we go out of state, but I haven't bid on any of those projects yet. But so I have been working a little bit of extra overtime. I've had a couple projects going out for bid right now. That's taken some time. I've actually had to work one Saturday last weekend. And weekends are usually the time that I film my videos for YouTube. Hence why I didn't have a video come out last week, because I was busy putting out that bid for that following Monday. So that is what I do for my job. So CrossFit and working out has been slacking a little bit. I usually work out in the mornings. So I go into work at 7, and my work is literally 4 to 5 minute drive from my house. I mean, I can literally throw a rock and hit the building. I mean, I'm not exactly that close, but you get what I'm saying. But it's getting better because work's starting to slow down a little bit. Now that the holidays are coming up, so I'll be able to get back in the gym, do the whole CrossFit thing. Actually, what I'm doing is I do a week of CrossFit to get like my cardio and stuff in, and then I do a week of like weightlifting, so like bodybuilding type movements, where you're doing 2 body movements per day, so like chest and tris, back and bis, my shoulders and traps. I'll do a leg day and stuff like that. So I break it up into a week to kind of like, I'm kind of that person that gets bored easy. So I'll do a week of CrossFit, get my cardio, and I'll jump over to something different, do bodybuilding, stuff like that. But that's how that's going. Okay, let's see here. Let's get back to the chat. Investing Wise, it says duplex in Buffalo, New York, around 125 to 250. That sounds about what we would pay in Kansas City. Let's see. There actually was a duplex here locally on the east side of Missouri that I was looking at. I was actually in the town that I grew up in, which is about 30 minutes away from where I live now. And it was, let's see, it was $150,000 for a duplex. And I don't remember exactly what it was renting out for. I think it was renting out for like $650 or $675. But they've been in that unit for like 3 or 4 years, and they never raised rent. So you could definitely raise rent on it, but with the 1% rule, it came out just a little under the 1%. So I just didn't even go look at it. And honestly, I am really wanting to get into the KC market. Getting the most amount for your cash over there, that's like the best place to do it. Here, it's a lot harder to get more cash flow because it's smaller town Missouri. I mean, it's rural Missouri. The rent prices here are super cheap. I mean, we're in this is a rental we're living in right now. Gosh, excuse me. And we are paying $600 a month in rent for this. And it's not a bad place. It's 3 bed, 1 bath. I mean, it's not updated or anything, but it's pretty cheap. And then home prices here are a little higher. So the 1% rule never works out. You can never get that to work out for any deals around here. So that's why I'm looking heavily in the Kansas City market. And plus I have good connections over there from living there for a couple years. The realtor that sold us and bought our house when we were over there, she has a property management company also. And I don't know if you heard about me talk about this earlier in this live stream, but she's got a whole property management company set up over there, and she's cut me a little deal since I will be going through her as the realtor also to purchase my properties. So not only is she getting money from me on commission when I purchase a house, but she will also be making money on managing my rentals, which I told her up front. I said, Teresa, the more properties you can find me, the more money you make, the more money I make. We're both happy. Both of us work. And that's really what it comes down to. Well, not just real estate, but business in general, like in the construction industry, it is all about relationships. The more relationships you build, the better off you're going to be. James Bond says, I know Miami is really expensive. I've looked at places in Tampa and Jacksonville as well because Jacksonville is growing really fast. Yes, and I think that's what the guy I was talking to that owns a bunch of property out there, I had a phone call with him, and he said he owned a bunch of properties out in Jacksonville. I think he buys them in cash, so they must be pretty cheap homes. And he says the cash flow is just, it's killer out there right now, but you got to be careful about where you purchase your homes. Again, I'm not super familiar with Jacksonville area, so this could be completely wrong, but that's just what he was telling me. And if for you guys that are watching right now that have are interested in real estate, if you guys don't know about Bigger Pockets, I highly, highly recommend you guys going to check them out. They have an awesome podcast. Dang it, excuse me. They have a bunch of great information. They have blog posts you can read. There's a forum section in there. And within that forum section, you can ask questions, you can answer questions, you can network with people. I've actually met a bunch of people a while ago when I was more active on there. I'm not really active on there anymore. Kind of, I guess, really been so focused on everything else that's kind of been in the background. But once I get more and buy my first property and get a little bit more, involved, I will definitely be purchasing a pro membership. And you just get a lot more benefits from using the website with the pro membership. And I got a couple buddies who own a bunch of rental properties, like in Springfield, and one just bought one in Tennessee, and they're on Bigger Pockets as well. So it's just a great way to connect. It's a great way to meet people, and you can learn so much from Bigger Pockets. True Financial says sometime in January, from what I'm hearing. Let's see. I guess you're meaning that's whenever I'm purchasing the rental. Sometime in January. Oh, no. Nope, sorry. That's from Robinhood. Okay. So I wonder if that's like beginning or end of January, or if you can't get that. Let's see. True Financials. Hey, man. Hope I was going. Hey, Dennis. Chris says 300,000 to 700,000 depending on the area. Wow. Yeah, that's quite a bit of money. James says, I'm possibly looking at property in Houston for the upcoming Olympics in 2020. So look at there, thinking ahead. So what do you think about the Austin area, James? Apple just announced they were putting in their second headquarters in Austin. I don't know if you knew about that or not. I own stock in Apple, so I tend to read a lot of the news articles on like the stocks that I own. And it's funny because I was, when I graduated college, I had my job offer in Kansas City, and then I had my job offer with another company, and it was in Austin, Texas. And I almost chose the Austin, Texas one because of just the area. Like I've never been down there, but I have a lot of friends that have been down there, have visited, and they said Austin is a really cool town. So I almost accepted the offer, but my wife really wanted to be closer to family, and with us being in the east side, or all of our family being on the east side of Missouri, we decided to go with the Kansas City offer. And plus, it was the company that I worked for was a little bit better offer. But anyways, that's not really important. But yeah, did you hear about the headquarters? Because I bet Austin property, and Austin's market was already exploding. So I can't imagine what it's doing now with the news of Apple headquarters going in. Investing wisely says taxes are high in New York. It makes it hard to cash flow. Yeah, and I was talking about that earlier, saying like either buying rental properties or purchasing a personal home. I was just saying how places like California, New York, I mentioned New York, gosh, I can't, like, places pretty much on the east and west coast. It's just expensive to live, and I can't imagine buying rental properties. So, have you thought about? Hang on one second, my chat's messing up. Sorry. Okay. Have you thought about investing in other places? Other areas throughout the United States, since the taxes are so high in New York. Because, yeah, I'm guessing that would be pretty killer whenever it comes to seeing if a property would cash flow or not. James, I've heard about it. I believe it's a little inflated. Meaning, what do you mean by that? What do you mean it's a little inflated? Like, the news is like, people are blowing up about it, and it's not really a big deal that they're opening the headquarters in Austin. Is that what you mean? I'm just not sure what you mean. Or do you mean that prices? Okay, yeah, prices are going to be are inflated. Yeah, I haven't analyzed any property in Texas, so I don't know if it's hard to cash flow, or if it's, what rent goes for over there or not, or what prices are or anything like that. But so yeah. Okay, I'll jump back to the chat. Looks like I'm all cut up. If you keep chatting with me, guys. If you guys have any questions, or have anything about what I'm saying, you want to make regards to. But oh my gosh, it's been 40 minutes. Holy shnikes. Jeez, this is. I guess when you hear yourself talk, time goes by fast. My God. Well, quickly, I wanted to go through my goals for 2019 and beyond. And these are strictly money goals. These are what I have planned to do within the next year, 2 years, possibly 3 years. Just depends on, how everything goes with YouTube and my job and everything else. But my first goal is to max out my Roth IRA, which I can put a big check mark on that. My wife and I just officially did that for this year. I went ahead and finished out 2018. And then 2019, they raised it up, the contribution limit to $6,000. So I'm already putting in $500 a month. It automatically gets pulled out of my bank account, so I don't have to worry about it. It's already officially maxed out because it's getting pulled out of my account, and I don't have to do anything about it. So that goal is done already, and I had that set a couple weeks ago, or I had that done a couple weeks ago. The next one, my wife and I have been really talking about this a lot since we have our son, and we're thinking about, we're trying for another baby here in the near future. And so her and I both have a life insurance policy, and it's a term life, and I believe it's for 25 years, and it is for $500,000. So that is, I have $500,000 on me, and then I have $500,000 on my wife. So God forbid, but if any one of us would ever, pass away, that's $500,000 that my wife or I would receive to help, raise our children. If we would need to quit work for any amount of time to kind of just get our lives back together, but God forbid that would ever happen. But we were talking about it, and term life is so cheap right now, especially if you're a healthy young age kid with a family. Like, I mean, if you don't smoke and you are, you're not like super, super overweight, you can, and you don't have like diabetes or anything like that, you can really get a cheap term life insurance. So I just looked up some quotes the other day, and my wife and I are both wanting to get $1 million of life insurance on me, and then $1 million of life insurance on her. And for 25-year term, so I would be 53, 37, 40, yeah, 53 whenever 52. I'd be 52. My God, and I'm an engineer and I can't even do math in my head right now. I'd be 52 whenever the term life comes up. And so we'd have $1 million of life insurance for 25 years, pretty much. I keep rambling on. And prices for that for me, I think were $520 a year. I think it's like $520 a year for $1 million life insurance policy for 25 years. And then for her, it was like $480 or something like that. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that is dirt cheap. I think for me right now, for my $500 policy, I pay $250, $260. For her, we pay $200. So once we would get that in line and order, and I wouldn't quit, or I wouldn't cancel the other insurances until I have this in place. But that's the next goal for 2019, 2020 is to get $1 million in life insurance on myself and my wife. That way, that gives us plenty of money in case I would happen to pass away, or God, like I said, God forbid. But my wife had plenty of money. She wouldn't have to work. She could pay off the home. She could just strictly worry about raising our children and not having to worry about anything like that. True Financials, Dennis says, love term life insurance. Increase it. Vanessa and I are both covered for $1 million. Perfect. So, Dennis, if you don't mind me asking, who do you guys go through for your insurance, and how much are you guys paying per month or per year? I guess, what are you paying on an annual basis? Because that's kind of how we pay it out. If you don't mind me asking, if you don't want to answer, that's no big deal. But what do you pay per year, and then who is it with? I'd be really interested in hearing that, because I'm trying to shop around as much as I can to get the cheapest amount possible. So the next goal is my rental investment, which I've been talking about the majority of this live stream. I am really, really hoping I find a property within, I hope it's within the next, I hope I am closing on a deal within the next 2 to 3 months. So I hope by my birthday, my 28th birthday on March 31st, that I am at least closing on a deal. That's my goal. Once we purchase this house, we're putting a little extra money down to make our mortgage payment super cheap. We got to save up a little bit more money depending on the amount or the price of the home that we buy for a rental. So like if we buy a home that's like $110,000, $115,000, I got to save up a couple more $1,000s just to have for like emergency purposes, because I don't want to buy a home and it completely empty my bank account. So I want to save up some more money for that. I have enough now, but with rental properties, you never know what could happen. It makes me feel more comfortable having an extra large amount of emergency fund in my account in case something bad would happen and the business can't pay for it. Because my goal is, as my rent checks come in, I'm putting them in a savings account. I'm not doing anything with them, and they're just going to keep building, keep building, keep building. And I hope I never have to pull money in from my personal account to have to pay for expenses. I'm hoping that the property will continuously always pay for itself. The only time I want to bring my own personal money into the real estate business is when I'm purchasing another property, until I get to the point where I have my properties cash flowing enough to where they're paying for the next home themselves or the next down payment. Now, with that being said, that brings up a good point, is debt. How much debt am I willing to have on these rental properties? So I'm a pretty conservative guy when it comes to debt. I don't like having a bunch of debt. I don't like having any consumer debt. I hate having a mortgage. But cars are paid off, all that stuff. I don't have any student loans or anything like that. So when it comes to rental properties, I'm okay with having the debt for the short to mid term when I'm in my 20s, 30s, because I'm building wealth. But there's a line that I don't want to cross, of the amount of debt that I'll have. I don't want to go over a certain limit of, let's see how I want to say this. If I could have 3 homes, 3 rental homes on top of my personal home and still be under the $300,000, $400,000 mark, in total debt, I feel like that's comfortable enough for me to where if all of the homes went vacancy for 2 to 3 months, one, my emergency fund will cover it. I don't ever, again, that's money not coming out of my personal checking or savings account. And then 2, if I would happen to, and this is like worst case scenario, if I would happen to drain the emergency fund from the rental investment business, that I could still cover all the mortgages with mine and my wife's income, personal income. So again, that's like a worst scenario type deal, but I really don't think I want to get over like $400,000 to $500,000 in debt. Again, that may sound like a lot to some people, But again, that all just depends on how much cash flow I have coming in and how much I'm making, how much my mortgages are, if I can afford my mortgages, yada yada yada. So yeah. True Financials says we had to pay a bit more because of our year travel. Makes sense. But it's $9.23 a month for both of us. We went through a broker. What broker did you go through, Dennis? I have been looking on Xander Insurance that Dave Ramsey talks about, and I really like how they put out their quotes because they work as a broker. They have, I think 10 plus insurance companies you can go through, and then they order it by the lowest price per month or the lowest price annually. So I'm interested to see who you go through for your broker or who you went through, because like I said, we're actively looking. It was a few years ago, but it was Xander. Okay, cool. So that's who I'm using too. I've been actively looking for quotes, but I am really hoping to have that done within the next couple months. Big Papa here over the holidays has to lose a couple pounds though, because I want to make sure I got my BMI in check and I don't get the next rate under the healthy average man or whatever it is. They take your height and your weight, and I'm a pretty short guy. I'm like 5'8.5", 5'9", but I'm stocky, but I'm not like all muscle. So I'm like 195, 200 pounds. So I gotta lose I should lose about 5-10 pounds, and then I'd be considered to Xander. I'd be in like the preferred health plus or whatever. So yeah. So the next one. So I recently started a new job. Small guy. I'm 5'5". Hey, I think my brother's 5'6". I feel like, power to us short guys. Us short guys get hated on way too much, and I'm done with it. It sucks. And my wife, I think my wife's 5'7". She may be 5'6" too. But whenever she wears heels, she is every bit as tall as I am, or she sometimes is taller than me, which I don't care. I don't care about that. I'm confident in myself, even though I only may be 5'9", 5'8". If I'm wearing my boots, I'm 5'9". If I'm not wearing my boots, I'm 5'8". Vesting Wisely says, did a pretty cool model. He financed his first few properties and now is buying for all cash from the other ones. So I'm guessing this is a blog. Let me open this up real quick and save that as a bookmark. I appreciate you sending me that. So also I found a guy the other day. You may want to check him out too. So he kind of did the same thing. He started out, I think he paid off his mortgage first. I think it's called Rich on Money. I think that's it. Check him out. I think he's relatively new, but he has a pretty cool blog. And I think he first paid off his personal mortgage. And then after that, he had a bunch of capital that freed up. And he ended up, what he did is he purchased rentals in cash. So I think he was buying properties from like the $40,000 to $70,000 range. So they're relatively cheaper properties. But he was purchasing these properties in cash. And then he got to the point, like I said earlier, that he had enough properties coming in and enough cash flow from his properties that the real estate business was purchasing the properties themselves. So he would just stock away his rent checks, all the money he was coming in, and he'd pay out for his maintenance or whatever. And then once his maintenance were, covered and vacancy was covered, he still had a bunch of capital in his savings account or money market account, and he was able to purchase another $40,000 to $70,000 home in cash. So that is just what's crazy to me. And again, that's compound interest. There's just so much you can do, and I personally think real estate is one of the best and fastest ways you can get to, what I like to call financial freedom, just because the opportunity out there is just so huge. I mean, you can literally go buy a house. Obviously, it takes some work on the back end. You can't just go throw a dart at a house and buy it and hope it cash flows. I mean, you got to analyze it, and got to take out money for expenses and stuff like that. But man, it just blows my mind if you just, give yourself 5 to 10 years, build up a good portfolio of good cash flowing properties. Once some of those are paid off, that's even more because you're not having to pay for a mortgage on those properties. And it's just a continuous cycle of building wealth. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but God, I love it. I'm happy to live in America. He has some property in KC too, I believe. Oh, I'm gonna have to check this guy out. I'm interested to see where he has his properties. Honestly, a lot of investors that invest in Kansas City, their prime areas are, I said earlier, but I don't know if you're here, we're Independence, Missouri, Grandview, Missouri, Raytown, Missouri, and then like Belton area is another good like working class area to buy rentals. And then the north of the river is very up and coming. Gladstone, and then there's Liberty and a couple other areas. I don't remember exactly the names of the towns. I'm not looking in north because my property manager doesn't go up north, but there is a lot of good rental properties opportunity up there. So investing wisely, maybe look into KC since or other areas that are maybe have better cheaper taxes than the New York area does. If you want, I could give you my contact information. Send me an email, jjbucknerbusiness@gmail.com. Again, this is just if you're interested. I can give you the contact information to my property manager if you want to get in touch with her and let her know that JJ Buckner sent you her way, and I know she'd be more than happy to help. She's a very trustworthy agent. She's not the type of agent that's just wants to buy a property because one, she's going to be helping you purchase the property, but two, she's going to be managing it for you. So she's not going to want to buy a jank ass property that's going to have a bunch of issues that she's going to have to deal with herself. So I don't know, if you're interested, send me an email, jjbucknerbusiness@gmail.com, or DM me on Instagram @jjbuckner, and I can get you her contact information for that. Again, that's just if you're interested in the KC area. And I'd be more than happy to talk real estate with you too. If you ever want to set up a phone call or something, I'm always down to talk real estate. Actually, a buddy of mine that I met when I was living out in Hawaii, he just bought his first rental property. I met him through CrossFit. He was one of the coaches at the CrossFit gym I was working out at, and him and his wife purchased their first rental property in somewhere in Tennessee. I forget the name of the town, but it's south of Nashville area. So that got me interested in the Tennessee area too. And it's also cool once you find out people who already have properties in an area, because you can use their contacts and they can kind of give you some people to talk to, and it really helps you out because one, they've already used the people, so they know if it's good or bad. If they're good or trustworthy people to work for. And they kind of also have a team built out there already that they can kind of help you, use if you would be interested in that. So yeah, networking is so huge, and always, always, always bring up, if you are investing in real estate or looking to invest in real estate, because I don't know how many times I've heard people say, just from small talk or like at a networking event or just talking to someone at the bar saying, oh yeah, I invest in rental properties, or I'm wanting to invest in rental properties. And, they say, oh, well, I got this property, that someone's selling, or, someone has a divorce and they're wanting to get out of their property, or they may own rental properties in Tennessee or Texas or wherever. And that may be that in to purchase your first rental property in that location because one, they know the market if you're friends with them. And if you think you can trust them to, kind of learn from them, and then also start analyzing the properties yourself because you don't want to rely just on that person. But kind of get your feet wet and then use their contacts or, use some of their contacts and get your first rental property bought. I don't know. So I got a call. Like I said, I got a call with my buddy. He's still out in Hawaii, but I'm going to call him and kind of pick his brain a little bit on the area of Tennessee that he purchased his property from. True Financial says, I got my guy here in Phoenix, Arizona, and he knows over time I'll be buying my properties with him. Oh, perfect. So, Dennis, is he a agent and property manager like mine out in Kansas City, or is he just a agent and then you're going to manage the property yourself? Investing. Let's see. This is a little slow. Let me read it on my phone. There we go. Investing Wisely says, I just bought 4 acres, building a cabin on it, going to Airbnb at part of the year and use it myself. That is kick-ass. So is that in Buffalo, New York also? Where is that located at? So funny thing you say that, because when my wife and I were discussing the whole building process and what are we going to do, are we going to purchase this, cheaper home to live in it for a few years, or we're going to buy this house or whatever it may be. The funny thing was I saw something on Zillow, and there is 100 acres literally right down the road from our house. And it's in a prime location. Give it 20, 25 years, that whole area is going to be built up. So that property value is going to increase. But it was, I think it was $600,000. And it sounds like a lot, but they had a bunch of investment opportunities on this property. So I forget what they call it here in Missouri. It's called like C&B farming or something like that. And you lease out your land or a portion of your land for someone to farm on. So they were leasing out 30 acres, and then you get like hundreds of dollars or so many, thousands of, what is it? Probably so many thousands of dollars per year that you get for leasing out your land. And then they also had a cabin-like structure home on like a small pond, or you could call it like a small lake, on this 100 acres. And they used it for Airbnbs because the county that I live in, there's a lot of, they call it the Napa Valley of the Midwest. There's a lot of wineries around here, so it brings a lot of people in to visit our wineries out here in the county that I live in. And so a lot of people rent out that Airbnb, during the summer and stuff like that, to be on the lake and to go visit the wineries, either whether they're from like St. Louis or from surrounding areas. So they had the Airbnb also bring in, income, probably I'd say 5 months out of the year. And I was like, babe, that's like half the mortgage paid for on this, $650,000 property. And she's like, there is no way in hell I'm spending that much money if you're not letting me build a house. So that kind of got shut down real quick. But no, it would have been a cool opportunity. And that may be something that I look into doing, later on down the road, whenever I'm a little bit more set up financially and have the the money coming in from investments and stuff like that, and not just my day job, to be a little bit more secure when I make a big purchase like that. But that's cool that you're doing that. And let's see, rural New York, about 1 hour south of Buffalo. Okay, cool. So it's kind of in the Buffalo area. Awesome, man. That's good. I hope it works out for you. So when do you plan on getting that set up? Do you have to do any renovations or anything like that, or will you automatically be, once you purchase the property, if you closed on it already, can you automatically start, sending in money, or I'm sorry, putting in tenants into the Airbnb? Sorry, this is kind of confusing because I keep getting text messages on my phone, and I keep having to slide it up, but whatever. So what was I saying? The $650,000 lot. I was going somewhere with that. Don't remember. True Financial says, yep, he's both. We talked all the time about it. Oh, that's cool. You know what, man? Dennis, on our next talk or whatever, we may have to discuss property out in Arizona, because I do know Phoenix is a pretty good area. I don't know prices. I don't know what you can rent. I don't know anything about the market. But I know a few people that have properties, or I know of a few people. I'm not acquaintances with them or whatever, but I know a few people, like through Bigger Pockets, that has property out in the Phoenix area. So I'd be interested in talking to you a little bit more about that. Because again, I'm not just solely looking to get into Kansas City. I'm willing to have properties everywhere in the United States. My ceiling is as high as you can go. Honestly, down the road, I would really like to get into again, this is just thinking big, but I would like to get into like hotels or, purchasing, bigger commercial buildings like that. Oh, speaking of that, I found this YouTube channel and it is called Concrete with a K. So it's Koncrete, Concrete. And it's this like young guy, he's probably like our age, 27, 28, 29, and he's like starting this YouTube channel and he does like podcasts and he's from like the Sarasota or Clearwater, Florida area. But he interviews and like has this like series of this guy called Ben Mala, and he's like a huge and real estate investor down. He's kind of like a developer almost down in Florida, and he like buys these $1 million properties that are like old, dilapidated. No, not, I don't know how do you say that, but just like old, worn out properties that they like. He goes in, he renovates them, gets new, better tenants in these buildings, shows that it's cash flowing, and then he sells it for a profit after owning the building for like 3 to 4 years. So not only do you learn a little bit from real estate, but it has so much entertainment because this guy is like, he's a Jewish guy from New York, born and raised in New York. He's got the accent. He's got the loud, boisterous New York, accent, and he just cracks me up. So if you guys are still on here, I highly recommend going to check out them. Again, that's Concrete, Koncrete. And then I think it's called like the series that he has on there, because he has a bunch of different like series on his channel. But that series in particular is called like Life for Sale or something like that. So go check it out. It's really good. Some of the podcasts that he does with that guy on there too is freaking hilarious. I think he just uploaded one the other day, and they're pretty good. They're pretty entertaining. Yeah, I know we can talk all day about. Oh, I'm sure we can. I'll have to schedule a time for that one. That's for sure. Because I really would be interested in talking to you about the Phoenix area and real estate plans that you have in the future. Speaking of that, when do you plan on buying your first rental? Because I know you got like your student loans and stuff you're trying to take care of. When do you plan on purchasing rental properties? So let me get back to the goals while I'm all cut up on the chat. Again, 15% in both 401ks. I don't think I talked about that yet. I don't think I did. So my next goal, 15% in both 401ks. So right now, my wife has been at her job for over a year, and she has been religiously putting in 15% in her 401k. I have been putting 15% in my 401k at my previous jobs, but at this new job that I got close to town, I have to wait 1 year until I'm eligible to start in the 401k plan, and the investing options are perfect. It's like they have all Vanguard index funds in there, and some Fidelity index funds in there, so I know I'm already going to be investing in the 401k. So another little minor goal is just for me to have 15% of my income going into 401ks as well, which is a total of 30% of our income going into 401ks. And I have not actually calculated this out yet, but I would be very interested to see how much money my wife and I saves on a yearly basis. I mean, it has to be, we'll be doing the 30% in 401ks. And then we have, the $500 coming out every month for Roth IRA. And then we put a lot of money away into savings, for rental properties. Well, we thought we were going to be building, so for that, but then it'll be for rental properties. I mean, I got to guess it's got to be over. It's got to be pushing that 50% mark. It'd be close, but it's got to be. I'm going to have to calculate that, and maybe that'll be a video idea. I'm going to write that down. Amount of income percentage paid per month. Sorry, saved. All right, chat popping up. My goal is 2020, 2021 for my first rental. Biggest focus right now is building a YouTube business. Yeah, makes sense. And see, I think my biggest goal right now is getting that rental property in under my belt. And if that means my YouTube channel has to sacrifice a little bit, which honestly I don't think it will, because man, it really doesn't take me much time. I like literally, I'll find a property, I will analyze it, and I'll get the numbers. If the numbers come out right and I can afford it right now, call up my realtor. My realtor will go look at it for me. We say yay or nay. Think about all the money we have to put into it. If we have to put in any, what kind of maintenance we'll have to do. Structural issues, stuff like that. And then that's pretty much it. And then I close on the property, and then after that, she finds the tenants. She, screens the tenants. She does all the application work. She does everything. I literally will sit back and collect the checks. And I also told her, I said, if once I do get my rental property, I said, you manage. I don't want you to bother me about little minor stuff. So in our lease, we have up to $100 the tenants has to fix it themselves. So, if you got to change a door handle, you got to change a light bulb, you got to fix something, I don't know what a $100 fix would be, but something minor in the house, that you have to replace that's going to cost you $100. The tenant is responsible for that. Anything over, I'm responsible for. What I told my property manager is I said if the fix will cost you or cost me, $500 or less, or well, we're still talking about it, $300 to $500 or less. I said, don't even bother me with it. Find something that's, if it's a light bulb, put in an LED light bulb, or like a new lighting fixture, or if it's a something like a toilet, put in a high efficiency. Oh my gosh, I've been talking too much. I know I've ran out of water. Efficient. Oh, I'm done. Not even trying it. A higher quality toilet, or something along the lines of that, to where if it's over that $300, $500 mark, I will come in and step in and kind of decide on exactly what I want to do, since it's a little bit more amount of money. So again, it's all about creating ways to lessen the work that you have to do with your rental properties. Let's see. Chris, does your job have an employer's match? Yes, but they don't do it in a percentage rate. So what they do is at the end of the year, depending on how the company does as a whole, what they will do is they will put a lump sum into my 401k. So I don't know what the percentage would be, and so whatever I get is what I get. It could be 1%, could be 6%. It's just a year by year plan from the company, and it's all depending on how they do that year. So again, that kind of focuses me and motivates me to bid more projects, to try and get more work correctly, to where our guys out in the field can get those jobs, get them started, and we have a shit ton more revenue coming in from our work that me and the other engineers have won. So, the better the company does, the better you do. And again, this company that I work for is incredible. I'm so glad that I made the switch, not only being close, but just the company in general. That's a family-owned company within the small town that I live in. It's a third generation company. I actually just met the original owner today. I think he's like 93 or something like that. He's a legend. He's still kicking. He's doing really well. It's a very family-oriented company. They want you to get your work done, but if you want to get to your son's baseball game, or you got family stuff going on, they're real flexible about that. So honestly, I talk about financial freedom and everything, and my wife talks about that, but I have good freedom now with being so close to work and everything. I'm wondering what's going to happen whenever I finally get to that mark where I'm making enough income that covers my expenses, and also pretty much that matches my work's income. That what I'm going to do. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it yet. I say that I'm going to quit, but I don't know if I will. I may drop down to like a 30-hour work week or like a part-time thing, but again, that could always change. It's just because I honestly, I enjoy what I do. I don't hate my job. I think it's just more of a freedom thing for me. Like, if I want to go on a 3-week vacation to Hawaii, I want to go on a 3-week vacation to Hawaii. That's my main why for financial independence. So will I quit my job or not? You know what? I don't know. It just depends. Who knows? Or if YouTube takes off. That's another thing. That's a totally different subject, though. And I also, I don't know, I gotta be careful about what I say with that stuff. But YouTube is my pride and joy. It's my hobby right now. I mean, I love it. I love doing this. I love talking to people. I love making connections. And I mean, you guys that have been on the stream, I really appreciate it. I love building connections with everyone. And I honestly, like, I get messages, DMs on my Instagram account of guys and girls that that are just started investing, and they said, "Hey, I watched one of your videos and you got me motivated to open up a Vanguard account and start investing in a Roth IRA," or, "Hey, you motivated me to pay off my debt and start investing," or whatever that may be. And I'm just like, that right there is why I do this. I mean, I'm not making hardly any money from YouTube. I don't have ads on my videos yet, which I'm hoping I can get there soon. But yeah, it's helping people is my biggest thing, and being able to know that I have started that investing journey for someone is huge. I mean, that there's nothing like it. Having an impact in someone's life, it's incredible. Oscar says hard work will pay off. Hell yeah, buddy. I agree with you, man. Oscar, I see you grinding too, man. Keep it up, bud. You're doing good. Did you get some new equipment on the channel that I noticed? Lighting or something like that? Your quality looks a little better now. I don't know. It could be just me. Could just be me. All right, I've been on here for almost 80 minutes. Holy shnikey mushrooms. Okay, let me get up here. I'm gonna finish out these. Goals real quick, guys. I'm gonna let you get back to everything. Again, I got the house myself, so I'm really not in a hurry. But I will probably get off here soon because I still have to eat dinner. I haven't eaten dinner yet, and it's 7:30 Central Time here. So yeah, anyways, next goal. So I said 15% on both 401ks. My next one is to monetize my YouTube channel. And again, I think I will hit the 1,000 subscriber mark probably within the next 3 months, 2 months, depending on how it is, or how everything goes. So that's like my first step to getting monetized. The next step is my viewing time, which my viewing time right now is like almost to 1,900 hours, which I gotta have 4,000, so I got a long way to go. Excuse me, but that's my goal for 2019 is to monetize the YouTube channel. Oscar says, fix the camera setting. Yeah, you know what? That has been on my to-do list. So, well, first, let me just turn this around and let me show you what I'm using as a tripod. I have my dog's dog food and some shoe box that I'm propping my phone up against. I just have a hard time spending money on this channel, which Dennis and I have talked about this, which I did. Dennis asked for some stuff for Christmas, so I'm really hoping that pulls through and I can get some equipment from that. But I really need to look at my camera settings and make sure I got all the quality correct. I've watched a couple videos on YouTube about setting up my camera settings. So let me pull this right here. The camera that I use is a Canon Mark II GS7X. So that is what I use, and then I have this little like Casey Neistat thingy-majig that he uses in his videos. I don't know why I bought it. It was when I first bought this camera. We originally bought this camera for like family pictures and videos to like just keep for ourselves. This was before the YouTube era. So I've been using it. It's a pretty good quality camera. I mean, it's got good video setting or video quality and everything. I mean, it's HD, so I really don't need to buy a new camera, but I really would like a nice DSLR that has like a mic input and stuff like that, which that's later on down the road for me. It's gonna be the Canon I'm using for a while. But like I said, I really need to look into looking at my video settings or camera settings and trying to figure out if I can improve that at all. Let's see. Chris says light setting. Okay, light setting for the videos. A little bit both. Hang on. I don't see what you're talking about, Oscar. Hang on one second. Let me scroll up and see if I can figure this out. I don't know. I'll have to get... I don't know what you're talking about. You said you're a bro. God, I'm horrible at trying to read chats and talk live. My bad. Let's see. Good stuff. I figured that was your issue. That's how my first few live streams were set up. But yeah, like we talked, I waited until I earned money from the channel to slowly upgrade. Yeah, I mean, and that's my plan. I mean, I'm gonna wait until I start earning money from actual YouTube, and excuse me, all that money will be going to the channel to have better quality videos. And honestly, guys, like my goal long term YouTube wise is to, not only have, sit down videos like I tend to, all my videos are right now, but I really like how Meet Kevin kind of gets out there and his videos are like walking around or doing something, or maybe he's on a job site at a real estate job or whatever he's doing. Like I really like that aspect too, and I'm hoping that I can add a little bit more to that to my channel. Now again, this is a little bit down the road, but that's kind of I see where this channel going is not only helping out financially, but also getting a little personal touch of what I'm doing financially by vlog style type videos. I mean, I don't know, not necessarily vlogs because it's not like my everyday life, but just little moments of like financial prosperity or something big that's happening that you guys can kind of be there with me, as I'm making those, achieving those goals. Oscar says, what do you think of him getting sued? Oh, we're talking about Meet Kevin? That's pretty crazy, man. I mean, honestly, when I saw that, like, Dave Ramsey, he's a character. When I first got into the like personal finance, bettering myself, and this is way before YouTube and all that. Like I was a die-hard Dave Ramsey guy. Like he was the first guy I found that, he's the reason why I paid off my student loans. He's the reasoning why I found my passion for personal finance. So I would give him that. Like he is incredible for getting out of debt, for that person, to really help, start from scratch and find a starting point. But just sometimes how he carries himself and how he talks to people, I'm just like, dang, dude, chill up a little bit, Dave. Chill, brah. I don't know. And then when I saw he sued Kevin, I was like, what the heck? Like, Kevin's just some little YouTuber dude. Like, Dave, you have so much more to worry about than suing some YouTuber because he doesn't agree with you. Like, I don't think this would ever happen. But if I ever got as big as Dave Ramsey, my last concern would be to worry about some YouTuber giving me shit on what he thinks about me. I guess I don't care. I mean, I'm doing my own thing, especially if I'm Dave, and I don't know. That's just me personally. I think it's kind of dumb that they did that, but whatever. Let's see. Chris says, still in baby step 2. So, Chris, do you have a plan, like an action plan? Do you budget? Do you have a goal set for when you're going to be debt free? What are what's your plans to paying off the debt? Are you trying to do, any types of, trying to make extra income, doing side jobs, stuff like that? I'd be interested in knowing that because my wife and I we don't really do, I guess we kind of follow the baby steps, but not really anymore. But when we were in baby step 2, my wife and I both worked a lot of overtime. My wife more than I did because it was kind of harder for my company to approve it. Ooh, look at that hair. Ooh, boy, I need a haircut. But we worked a lot of extra. We didn't have any kids, so that kind of helped us out. So yeah, I'm interested to see what you're doing to get out of baby step 2 because budgeting and working extra really, really increased our time frame of getting out of debt. Oscar says, like Dan Locke said, the best way to get rid of debt is to make more money. Yeah, you're exactly right. So actually, Oscar, you probably know Apple Kreider. He's another YouTuber. I was on his podcast, and he asked me a question. He goes, He said, do you think it is more important to learn, or what is it? How did he say that? He said, do you think it is more important to spend less or make more? And when he asked me that question, I thought about for a second. I was like, well, I mean, both are important. And how I answered it was, I said it's a stepping process. So I can't choose one or the other. I can't choose it's more important to spend less or it's more important to make more. My answer was, I think that you need to know how to handle your money, and you need to learn how to get a hold on your income and expenses, and learn how to spend less. So that way you can focus then on making more money. And since you have the background of knowing how to handle your money, when you finally hit that point of making more, you know what to do with that money. Because if you are just some random Joe Schmo that makes more money, you're not going to properly know how to invest that money. You're not going to properly know how to, what to do with the money. Would you go blow it on a Porsche or a Lamborghini or whatever? You're some random ass car, or are you going to invest it and set yourself and your family up, better financially? So yeah, caught up on chat. Okay, guys, 2 more goals, and then I'm gonna head out of here. I still got to get something to eat, and I'm sure my wife is probably getting ready to head back home here too. So I said monetize YouTube. That's my next goal for 2019. I hope that happens in 2019. I think it will. And then rental so my next goal is to buy my second rental property. That is my next goal, and that is more towards like a 2020 goal. If I can buy 2 properties next year, that would be incredible. I think that's going to be a long shot for me to do just because I know how I am conservatively with my money. But if I can work it out to where I save enough and find the right deal, then I'm all for it. But that's more of a 2020. I'd like to buy I honestly would like to buy a property every year and then get to like a cutoff and then start paying off the debt and become, mortgage free on all the properties. And then the last goal is I would like to have $50,000 in my Robinhood account. So I know that I have not made a Robinhood portfolio update in a while. I have actually, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I've made a couple purchases that I've posted on there. Let's see, a couple days ago, which the market tanked today, which sucked, but whatever, and for the long run. But I bought Southwest Airlines. I purchased Capital One. I also purchased ExxonMobil. And I think they're good long-term quality companies. Both all got a great dividend. So those are the recent companies that I just purchased. So yeah, I need to make an update. But right now I have about a little over $4,000 in my Robinhood account. Hoping to add a lot more to that over the next few years. Since we're not building anymore, I have a lot extra capital that I can kind of do whatever I want to with it. So some of that is going to get allocated towards Robinhood. It's going to be averaging down on the companies I own already. It's going to be purchasing new companies in my portfolio. So let's get back to the chat real quick. Chris says, currently doing a zero base budget. Perfect. Working overtime, 60 hours a week. Hell yeah, man. Keep grinding. And started YouTube to hopefully become my second source of income. September 2019, I'll be debt free. Kick ass, dude. Keep grinding, Chris, man. That is so awesome. Man, people who take initiative and get shit done, man, that's awesome. Excuse the cussing. I tend to cuss every now and then. Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys are offended by that or not, but that gets me jacked, man. That is awesome. Taking initiative, paying off your debt, bettering yourself financially. Keep it up, man. In 2020, I plan on purchasing my first rental property. Hell yeah. Right there with you, brother. Lisa, hey Lisa, thanks for joining the live chat. What companies are you eyeing? So I don't know if you heard that already or not. My latest purchases were Capital One, the ExxonMobil, and let's see, what else? Southwest Airlines. Airlines are getting killed right now. So I think it's a value buy. for me in general. But and then for that, I really am not adding any other companies as of right now, except I am eyeing up Johnson and Johnson. If they get to like the 120 mark, 120 to 130s, I think they're at 129 today, something like that. I'm thinking about opening up a position in Johnson and Johnson. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But that's like the one company I don't own in. I don't own yet, but depending on if the price keeps going down, I'll open a position within Johnson and Johnson. And then Lisa, I'm not sure if you're familiar or if you understand or not understand. I'm not for sure if you know my investing strategy when it comes to stocks. I invest solely in dividend producing stocks that I'm going to be using as income in the future to be able to live off of and pay expenses for using my dividend portfolio along with rental and real estate and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. Some of the companies I own that I keep purchasing because they keep going down in this bearish market that we're in right now. Let's see, what did I averaged down a lot today, actually. I think I bought Target. And these are all companies that are already owned. I purchased Target. I purchased averaged down in Apple. I averaged down in, gosh dang, I'm not remembering right this second. I guess I could get on my Robinhood portfolio right now and look, but I'm averaging down in a lot of my companies that I own. I think I bought Ford, averaged down in Ford, which I really like Ford. I sometimes get hate on owning Ford. A lot of people don't believe in the company, but they're trying to work out a partnership with Volkswagen. They're also really focusing on technology and working on all electric vehicles. Some people laugh at them for focusing on that, but I think it could be a hit. They just purchased I think it was a year ago, the old public library down in Detroit, and it's going to be their technology hub to where they're solely focusing on building technology for the Ford company and focusing on building these electric vehicles. Now I saw an interview, speaking of electric vehicles, Tesla. I don't own any stock in Tesla, but I saw Elon Musk in an interview saying that his patents are actually they're free or their processes are not patented or something like that. Anyone can go look at how they build their cars and use them for their own, just because Elon is wanting the technology to advance. So again, I don't know if that's true or not. I saw him say that in an interview, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So at least I hope that answered your question. That's the main company that I don't own any ownership in right now is Johnson and Johnson. That's the one I'm looking to get into, and then I've been averaging down in some of my companies. That's what I need to do. I'll make a portfolio update video here pretty soon, and you can see all the stocks that I hold in my portfolio. I'm down quite a bit. Right? I mean, I'm not down a lot overall, but I'm getting hit pretty heavy with this bearish market. I think I'm down overall over the year 0.6%, 0.7%. So again, I'm not worried about it because I'm never selling unless my companies are going bankrupt or something. But I plan on holding these companies. I buy good quality companies that I think are going to be around for the next 20, 30 years. Obviously, I'll analyze my positions in every company, every 3-5 years, and see if I need to sell or whatever. But I don't plan on selling in my companies. I keep reinvesting dividends and going from there. Let's see. Thanks, man. Just got started. Keep it up, Chris. Lisa asked, as far as investment, local utility companies, watch the language. My babies are in the room. Lisa, I am so sorry. Sorry about that. I will make it count to not say those words anymore. So as far as investment, local utility companies. So I have a couple utility companies on my watch list, and I actually used to work for you. I was an engineer out of college, and I was in consulting, and I consulted for utility companies. So I was talking to the Amerins, I was talking to the UIs, the AEPs, the Duke Energy, all those utility companies I worked for, I did projects for, I designed their power line systems that you see, the big structures going up and down the highways. Like I designed those power lines. So I'm kind of familiar with some of the stuff they do. And that got, now that I'm investing in companies, I have some of those utility companies on my watch list. AEP and Duke are probably the top two that I'm looking at. I haven't really done much analyzing of the companies here recently, but it'd be probably my top two would be Duke Energy and AEP. So I would say take a look at those two companies. And utility companies are, a lot of people, put a lot of money into those companies because they tend to be good defensive stocks whenever the market's crashing, or in a bearish market like we are right now. So you'll see those prices maybe inflated a little bit, just because a lot of people are starting to purchase those, which is probably, it may be a good time. But I like buying value stocks, and I'm hoping that these purchases I'm making are going to turn out in the long run. Let's see, Oscar. Keep it up. I myself started drop shipping as another source of income. That's interesting, Oscar. I have not really looked into drop shipping. I don't know. It was never something that really interested me, but how's it going for you? Have you made any profit or anything like that yet? True financials, everything in the market is getting killed hot. It's a good time to buy. Yeah, that's why I averaged down at a bunch of my companies, Dennis. Like I said, Target, Apple, Microsoft. I averaged down on Microsoft today. I can't think off the top of my head right now. But yeah, it's a good time to buy if the market doesn't keep going down. But again, you gotta invest every month. It's time in the market beats timing the market every day. So every month I'm buying larger positions in companies, or opening up new positions of companies that I want to keep on my portfolio. Right now I'm at I think 11 or 13 stocks total in my portfolio. So I'm wanting to build up a position more in those videos again, or in those companies. If I would happen to, like Johnson & Johnson's, for example, if a company would tend to lower down to a buying opportunity that I am interested in, then I would be willing to, make a purchase and start a new position with those companies. But as of right now, I'm more interested in averaging down in the companies that I have and creating a larger position within those companies, unless something like Johnson & Johnson, if it keeps going down. Okay, let me get caught up on this chat here. Jonathan, thank you for joining the live stream. I appreciate it. Good to see you're doing well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Chris says, thanks, man, to Oscar. Lisa, I was thinking about investing in one of Dallas airports. Who will become the hub for Amazon? Oh, in Dallas airports, the hub in Dallas. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Honestly, I don't really know too much about that, so I can't really give an opinion. So I'll have to look into that. What do you think of a portfolio comprising only of Vanguard ETFs? Okay, so Go Trumper 69. I think I said that right. Ask, what do you think of a portfolio comprising only of Vanguard ETFs? There is a video of the Vanguard founder. Bogle goes into why he personally doesn't like ETFs and would rather invest in index funds. Now, off the top of my head, I don't remember all the exact points that he goes into, but I think what he was kind of getting into was saying how an ETF can be traded as a stock, to where an index fund, you purchase the index fund based on whatever the end of day value is. So I think what he was getting at is he was saying try not to buy an ETF and treat it as a stock. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be a trader purchasing ETFs. Just keep dumping money in your index fund, and over a long period of time, you will be perfectly fine. So I personally don't own any ETFs. I'm not purchasing any ETFs. All my Vanguard investments are in Vanguard index funds. That doesn't mean you can't buy any ETFs. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think they're bad. I don't think ETFs are bad. I just would rather put my money into index funds and put it into stocks. Lisa, I greatly appreciate you sharing it. Thank you so much for showing up and watching the live stream. I appreciate you being here. And again, I'm sorry about the cuss words. Tell your little ones I am sorry. I have little ones of my own, and I try not to cuss in front of him. So I really apologize for that. Sometimes it just happens. Chris says, Tesla is changing the game. I heard the same. Tesla patents are open sources. Yeah, I thought that was crazy whenever Elon said that. I was actually, that kind of shows the type of guy Elon Musk is, though. I mean, I honestly think he just wants to better the world. I mean, the guy probably has enough money to do with whatever he wants to do, and I honestly think he wants to better technology and better the world. And if that means someone using his patents, another car company, to maybe build the technology, then so be it. I think that's awesome. Lisa says, Uber is another company on my investment list. They just started a logistics department. Yeah, so Lisa, do you know when their IPO date is? I haven't really looked too much into them. I don't know if I'm gonna purchase Uber on their IPO date just because there's so many concerns with that company. Making money wise. They had a bunch of legal issues, a while ago. I don't know. I'm interested, but I really do have to do some more research before I make any type of investment in Uber. Just as looking at it as like from a consumer point, I think Uber is a great company. But I would really need to look at like the financials and everything before I would decide to invest in their IPO. Do you know when their IPO date is? I don't know off the top of my head. Let me know let me know in the chat if you know when that date is coming up. Again, all the likes. We're up to 10 likes now, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Chris asks, is Uber public? I don't think they are yet. I think their IPO date's coming up. No, Chris, I work for them. Oh, okay, cool. Lisa, do you drive for Uber? Is that what you do? Or are you do you work in their, like corporate office or something like that? Okay, Oscar says 2019 they're going to try to go public. Yeah, I heard them and Lyft are both working on IPO dates, which again, I don't know. So is Lyft. Yep, exactly. You have to be an investor with like a $300,000 portfolio to invest now. Oh, I didn't know that. No, I work in claims corporate in Chicago. Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I remember watching a video about Gary Vee saying how he was friends with the owner of Uber or something like that, and how he passed up a big investment that would be worth millions of dollars or something like that. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Lisa, how is Uber as a company? Are they pretty like your typical tech company? They got the, ping pong tables and everything else that you see, and free beer and snacks and all that, or I see that with like Apple and Google and all those tech companies. That must be pretty cool because I work for a construction firm and we don't have that. Great company to work for. Yeah, I'm sure it is. That's awesome. Uber Eats. You get Uber Eats for free. We don't even have Uber Eats where I'm at. Honestly, we don't even have Uber in the town I'm in. You have to drive, I think it's like probably 25 minutes north to even get an Uber. Like that's within your range. So that sucks. But luckily, I am a mile from the bar that everyone hangs out at, or probably 2 miles from the bar that everyone hangs out at. So I can either walk home or my wife can drive me home because she doesn't really drink. So yeah, that's cool. Well, awesome. That must be a pretty cool gig you got set up. Yes, I'm in Chicago. We have everything. Yeah, Chicago's pretty cool. I actually had speaking of Chicago, I had a job interview. It's actually, so earlier in the stream, I had an offer in Austin, Texas, but my interview was in Chicago. And if you live in Chicago, you probably know this place. It's called Gibson Steakhouse. My God, that is the most juiciest, best steak I've ever had in my life. It was incredible. I got a, I think I got a new, this was like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and I still remember exactly what I got. I got a New York strip steak, and then they had like a fancy appetizer where I had like tuna tartare, which I've never had that, like crab legs and like all these fancy appetizers. What else? Oh, our dessert was a full cake. So the company that I interviewed with, they said you had to spend like $1,500+ to get this like room they reserved, which is crazy. Can't imagine what that. It was like unlimited drinks and everything too. So not only did I have the steak, crab legs, tuna tartare, or all this other fancy stuff that I never get to eat. Excuse me, my gosh. And yeah, they brought up our dessert, and I was thinking like a little, like a quarter piece of like pie or like a cheesecake or something. No, they brought out a ginormous cake that was literally about this big. It was bigger than my head. It was huge, and then the cutting knife was like a butcher's knife that's like this thick. I don't know. It was insane. Yes, the best got shut down. Oh, that sucks. David Burks. Is that a steak company? Is that what you're talking about? You're referencing the best? I live in the West Loop. We have some of the best dining options. Yeah, I really need to get to Chicago. My wife and I are we're wanting to make a trip up there for like a extended weekend to just kind of explore. She's never been in Chicago. I've only been for that interview and had that one night out. So I'd like to go and do the whole touristy thing. But that's really cool. Okay, I need to wrap this up. It has been over I'm coming up on 108 minutes I've been on this, and time has been flying, and I have got to eat dinner because it is 8 o'clock and I haven't ate dinner. Yes, David Burks was the best. Come on. I'm not from Chicago. David Burks, I guess so that's the steakhouse. I'm going to have to write that down. David Burks. I know you said it got shut down. Was there multiple locations? Because I'm always down to try more food. I love food. Chicago deep dish pizza is the best. Yes, it is. I agree with you, Chris. I love pizza in general. But deep dish is very good. Okay, guys, I appreciate it. All of you that have stuck around this long and watched, asked questions, supported me. I appreciate you guys so much. Again, this is incredible that I am, being able to connect with all you guys. I hope I am bringing value to you guys as subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you guys sticking around, watching my content. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys continue to watch because there will definitely be bigger things coming in the future. So with that, I'm going to end it there. Dennis, True Financial, said it's been a good time. I appreciate it, buddy. We're going to have to set up another call here pretty soon, me and you. And we're going to have to go live stream together. Maybe get Brad in here too over at Baby Steps Brad. That'd be pretty cool to see. Lisa said, no, only one. He had $1 million bull, but producing his steaks. Oh, wow, that's crazy. I appreciate your insight and thanks for your time. Lisa, thank you so much. Again, anytime you have questions or anything, hit me on Instagram, DM me, at JJ Buckner, send me an email, do whatever. I love when people reach out. I can get more personal that way, if it's in an Instagram message or something like that. Because I can only spend so much time answering comments on YouTube. So yeah, you guys have a good night. Oscar says, great live. Take care, bro. Appreciate it, Oscar. Thanks for joining, man. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, on that note, I will leave here. So you guys have a good night and you guys take care.